All right, people, sit down, grab a coffee or whatever the fuck you're into because we're about to go on a ride here. If we don't laugh at this shit, we're all gonna end up crying in the fetal position eventually, okay? So here's the deal, man. Men who are simps, those dudes who would sell their own balls for a single like from a girl on Instagram, they didn't just cause this shit, they fucking engineered it. 3 generations deep. Boomers kicked the door open, simps held it wide, and now we're living in the final boss level where women have every single advantage, every quota, every girls only scholarship, every DEI checkbox, and guys are either grinding like slaves or straight up needing out stay-at-home boyfriends getting bankrolled by their girlfriend. And the women, they're not wrong. This shouldn't be like this, but it keeps getting worse and worse, like a bad acid trip that won't end. And think about it for a second, my brother. There's this old incel line from way before the internet turned everybody into rage machines. And it goes a little something like this. A lock that can be opened by any key is a faulty lock. But a key that can open any lock, that's a master key. And boom, women are locks. Biology doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. Guy wants to make a kid, 5 minutes, maybe a high five later, women wants to make a kid. 9 months of growing a whole human being inside her body, plus years of actual parenting. So yeah, they're the selectors. That's not sexism. That's just how the species survived. One alpha wolf in the pack knocks up 5 females and the bloodline keeps rolling. Chinese billionaires, those guys are playing 4D chess. They don't roll 1 dice, hoping for a 20. They have 100 kids and guarantee at least one of them isn't a complete idiot who thinks a triangle is a conspiracy. Dynasties, they did the same shit for centuries, but we forgot the lesson. But here's where the simps really poured gasoline on the fire. Women are wired for consensus, alright? Not some rational cold logic, Spock shit, consensus. Social media turned that dial to 11 and cranked the groupthink to max. Young girls especially. They become revolutionaries overnight when nobody's allowed to punch them for it. And that's why 95% of the arts and politics master programs are just rooms full of chicks, all repeating the exact same rainbow feminist sound bites like they invented critical theory in their dorm. Zero original thought, just vibes and retweets. Then DEI rolls in, like the Trojan horse nobody wanted to admit was full of Greeks. We need parity in every field. Nah, bro. Some jobs attract more dudes, some attract more women. Force it with quotas and you end up with barista degrees and gender studies flooding the workforce. Elon buys Twitter, for example, fires the entire romance novel book club HR department, and overnight it goes from a sorority house to a Warhammer 40K convention. Actual engineers, actual coders. Shocking how fast things work when you stop hiring by feelings and start hiring by merit, basically. Can you do the fucking job? And nobody wants to stay quiet, or nobody wants to say the quiet part out loud. But IQ curves, let's talk about that. Men and women are different, dude. Men got the fat tails. Way more absolute legends at the high end. Way more absolute train wrecks at the low end. Isaac Newton, Galileo, the 150 IQ rocket scientist. Mostly guys. The solid 100 who wants a stable life, statistically more than likely it's a woman. Biology, it's not bigotry. But try saying that in public and the mob shows up because we built the entire society that's allergic to reality. Gender is real. Men and women are different. We are not the same. But we're living in hyper reality. We're admitting basic facts get you canceled. I might even get canceled for this shit right here. And now we got actual headlines. Stay at home boyfriend is an economic trend. Neats everywhere. Women out earning, men, and simps cheering like it's progress. I'm old school on this one. I think one person works. The man, most of the time, women stays home with the kids if she wants. That's how it worked for all of human history until we decided to run a science experiment on society. My own mom was a stay-at-home legend who eventually worked part-time when I got a little bit older. That way I wouldn't drive her ass crazy. But she raised me right. Now dudes are in aprons greeting their girlfriend after her 12-hour shift while they lift, tan, and read philosophy. Meanwhile, the girls are out here in $300 workout sets, making CEO money, selling nudes, getting plastic surgery until they look like Jigsaw from the movie Saw, then having a full mental breakdown by the time they hit 29. For example, you got Little Tay and Bad Barbie getting groomed at 13 for OnlyFans pre-orders. Epstein didn't invent this. He just had better lawyers on a private island. The internet cut out the middleman, basically, and there's Epsteins everywhere. The real poison at the bottom of the cup. Too many men willing to throw every other man under the bus for one crumb of pussy. Diversity is our strength, except when it's my job. Corporate America literally told hiring managers to stop hiring white dudes. 1 in 6 heard it. And the simps, they nod along because maybe Sarah in accounting will finally slide into their DMs. That's how civilizations hollow themselves out. False accusations, a manufactured consensus, and dudes too scared to say no to anything with a heartbeat and 2X chromosomes. Progress doesn't come from the safe consensus-chasing crowd, man. It comes from the madmen, the heretics, the dreamers, the rebels, the skeptics, the guys willing to say the quiet part out loud while everybody else clutches their pearls. We're at the point where the whole house of cards is wobbling like a drunk Jenga tower. So laugh, dude. Laugh at how fucking stupid it got. Laugh at the simps who built their own cages. Laugh at the women riding the tiger they can't control. Laugh at all that pretending bullshit that biology is optional. Because if we don't laugh now, we're going to cry later. And the West is way too beautiful to die this dumb. Fix it or don't. But for the love of God, stop simping, fellas.